Welcome to the channel. Thanks a lot for joining us. We've got an amazing story here. So when Cherif Souleymane travelled from Guinea to East Germany to study architecture in 1962, the then 17-year-old had no idea that within a year he would be reshaping East German football, nor that he would become the first Guinean to play overseas and one of the first Africans too. Today considered one of his country's greats, he had travelled behind the Iron Curtain through an exchange program with East Germany, then a communist country with close links to the Soviet Union. I went to study architecture on a government scholarship, not join a club, he told BBC Sport Africa. Yet he soon found himself playing in the country's second tier after his talent was spotted while playing for his university side in Neubrandenburg, some 130 kilometres north of Berlin. The coach of the local Neubrandenburg sports club then asked me if I could join, and I said yes. Pretty soon, he felt he was representing all black people out on the pitch. I was the only black player in the whole of East Germany at the time, and I was proud about it. I felt exceptional, said Souleymane, who celebrates his 77th birthday on Wednesday. Guinea's only ever winner of the African Footballer Player of the Year award, enjoyed a good time with the small town club where he was well known in the community, loved by fans for both his skill and ability to score goals. His prowess as a striker helped Neubrandenburg to get promoted to East German's top flight, but he was swiftly forced to leave as foreigners were barred from the DDR Oberliga at the time. I spent 2 seasons with Neubrandenburg and scored lots of goals, he said. The first season we finished 12th and I finished as top scorer, and the following year I helped the team to win the league. I then joined rival club Neustrauslist, where I spent a season and we finished second in the league. Yet all was not smooth for Souleymane, as he claimed he faced racism during his time in the country, despite being largely accepted by his small community. However, he did not allow it to affect him, he said. I was very good and composed, even though it was normal for opposition supporters to direct racial chants at me, he said. The problem was, I was in a city where they hardly saw a black person. Some were asking me where I learnt to play football because they didn't believe that a black player scoring goals. In fact, children were touching my body to see if I had coal on my skin to prove that I'm a black man. But I enjoyed playing there because I was well known in the city and loved by many people because I was a good player. The mayor of New Brandenburg once invited me for dinner. I was young, but it was a good experience as I never allowed myself to be affected. That was why I kept scoring. Souleymane played in East Germany for 3 years before returning home to Hafaya Konkuri, where he became an African superstar. Soleimane's East German career ended after he was called up by Guinea for the first time to contest the All-African Games qualifier in Ivory Coast in 1965. Instead of returning to Europe afterwards, he went back to the Guinean capital Conakry, on the demand of the country's authorities. That was how my studies and career in the European country ended, he said. I regret that I didn't complete my studies in East Germany. I even enrolled in a university in Conakry afterwards, but also didn't finish. However, Souleymane returned to Guinea, paved the way for a glittering chapter in his career that saw him win both trophies and individual prizes. He spent the rest of his career at Hafaya, becoming part of the golden generation which made the club not only Guinea's most successful, but also Africa's best in the 1970s. The versatile player, who started as a striker before dropping into midfield and finishing as a defender, was regarded as the star man because of his ability to score and create goals with his clear passes and his clever manoeuvres. As a centre forward in the early 1970s, he formed a deadly and irresistible partnership with Pete Sore and Enjolia. The trio helped Hafia to 5 finals of the African Club Championship Cup, the forerunner for today's African Champions League, and 3 continental titles in 72, 75 and 77. In the first triumph, he scored in both legs of the final against Uganda Simba to finish as the club's top scorer in the competition with 4 goals. That achievement helped him win France's football's African Footballer of the Year award in 1972. Winning the Ballon d'Or was a special moment for me, my country, and my teammates, he said. He put us on the footballing map of the continent. Souleymane was selected as Guinea's Player of the 20th Century, having helped the national team qualify for the first African Cup of Nations in 1970, then in 74 and 76. He played all 3 tournaments as Sili Nacional, finished as runners-up in 1976, their best finish at the Nations Cup. Yet Guinea squandered a lead in the dying minutes of the final game against Morocco, drawing 1-1 to miss out on the only Nations Cup decided by a group format and not a final. Souleymane still calls it the worst moment of his career. We needed to defeat Morocco to win the trophy and we came very close, he said. I played in defence that day and scored to give us the lead. We were leading 1-0 until 5 minutes before full time. Then the Moroccans equalised to win the tournament on points. He officially retired in 1980 as a player, whose stage started behind the Iron Curtain and bowed out amidst accolades aplenty. That's the story, the very interesting story of Cherif Souleymane. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you.